Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. CDNs power the internet from Netflix streams to live sports, but they're built on centralized rails. What if that changed? Now imagine a content delivery network run by thousands of nodes operating closer to users, scaling on Solana and rewarding contributors in real time. Before Pipe.network, David Rhodus helped scale Amazon Elemental Cloud to dominate the streaming market. Now he's back, rewiring the web from the protocol layer up. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest today, David Rhodus, CEO of Permissionless Labs. Welcome to the pod.
Thanks. Great to connect, and thanks for having me on.
You led the charge on Amazon Cloud, basically powers half of the internet. What made you leave? What made you leave and start Pipe.network?
Yeah, it was a great journey. Working with Elemental and really amazing software, and my team helped build out the cloud portion, which kind of led to the acquisition in 2015 by AWS. And now that the cool software is in the AWS console, so you can process video with it now. And yeah, I think most major broadcasters out there use that today. And Amazon is great. Like, learned a ton. It's kind of like going through military. I feel like it hardens you up a lot and makes you even better at what you do. And but the entrepreneur in me was like just screaming every day, like, let's go build something more innovative, quicker than we can here. So
did you get tired?
Oh yeah, I think I was pulling a lot of 100-hour weeks there, so light sleep.
So for those that don't know, what is a content distribution network? My understanding is, like, if I sit in Europe and I want a piece of information on the internet, it's part of it is accessing it to the server nearest me instead of a centralized location so that it's quicker. How far off base am I? Is that sort of what it is?
Yeah, so most users go through a content delivery network when they access even just like a news website, let alone like streaming video today. They'll service 3 to 4 billion users per day. And what they do essentially is they bring the data closer to the user. So if you look at like a hyperscaler like AWS, maybe just use like CNN or Fox News for an example.
Okay.
They'll have their web server in AWS, and that's about 350 miles from the user on average.
Okay.
And CDNs, they're more in what's called like a metro location. So it makes them, lowers the latency. They're about 150 miles from the user. And that makes the content load so much faster. So it's like half the distance. You basically get twice the performance. And kind of what the architecture we're pushing forward is like what we would call like hyper local nodes or hyper edge fleet of pop nodes. That puts the node closer to like 50 to 20 miles from the user.
Okay, we'll get into that because I was like, when I started reading about you guys, I was like, okay, this is going over because this is so new, this is so bleeding edge, this hasn't been done before, and then I'm like, cool, but what is the benefit of decentralizing this CDNs? And usually, sometimes I feel when we talk about decentralization, it's like, it's just a word. It's just a buzzword. It's like there's no real benefit. So I did a GPT search, and I thought it was like a fun experiment to do with me and you, like check AI versus the source. What's the benefit of decentralized CDNs? So I asked, what would the benefit of decentralizing something like CDNs be? And a couple of points. Censorship resistance. So decentralized CDNs aren't controlled by a single entity like Amazon, so it's much harder for governments or corporations to block or take down content. Is it true or false?
That's very true. Like, for example, right now, um, there's really a lot of people are very upset about what's happening in Spain. At night, they block one of the largest CDNs called Cloudflare, and
What?
it's the government's reaction to try to reduce like football, soccer pirating. It's really bizarre
Oh,
right
oh,
now.
okay. That's just okay. That's insane. Okay, let's go on to number two. Lower costs through peer resource sharing. So instead of paying massive fees to cloud providers like AWS, decentralized CDN can utilize bandwidth and storage from users worldwide, creating a peer-to-peer economy.
That's very true. So most of us are not maxing out our home bandwidth all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, because you use it like now when maybe I'm maxing it out on the stream, but I would say 90% of the time it's just sitting there.
Absolutely. You know, you go take a walk or even just checking your email, like you're
Mm.
using very little. So, just a lot of latent, like available bandwidth out there that, um, if it's coordinated together, can build some really amazing products like this.
It's like It's like I promise you, it's not Silicon Valley. It's like what's it called in our first info. I can't remember what's that algorithm that they developed.
Oh, the middle
Middle
out.
out. It's like middle out, man. Okay, so the point number three, increased resilience and redundancy. Because the network doesn't rely on a centralized set of servers, it's less vulnerable to single point of failures like DDoS attacks.
That's oddly very true as well.
AI is
You know,
batting 1,000, yeah.
I've worked with like every CDN out there,
Yeah.
especially during the integration of our video product with Amazon Video.
Mm,
We used I think 5 or 6 CDNs, and even the best has 2 or 3 outages per year,
yeah.
and it's always some like central component database, something that fails, and it takes down these like massive billion-dollar systems for
Jeez.
minutes or hours at a time. So um, decentralization is a huge win, and like making things more highly available and robust.
Ownership and incentives. Users and contributors can earn tokens or fees by sharing bandwidth and storage, promoting broader community ownership and participation in internet infrastructure.
Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. So people have told me, say, if you wanted to start a CDN today, you're going to need like 800 million, $1 billion in capex, to get the server footprint. And instead of like going and raising tremendous amount of money on
Mm,
something super high risk, you can have individuals come in and contribute the hardware, and it's basically like they're buying the shares, of
yeah,
Amazon on
yeah,
day
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's super, super interesting. Um, Last point, number five, is privacy and trustless infrastructure. So a decentralized CDN can integrate encryption, zero trust models, and blockchain-based auditability, giving users more control over how and where their content is distributed. How important is that really?
it's a tricky one. It sounds like I think probably partially that's true in my kind of dumb
Yeah,
engineering mind. I
yeah.
think I'm no politician for sure, but um, you know,
Well, I think 4 out of 5 ain't bad, and then the
yes.
best, and I put this up in the clip in YouTube. Like when I pulled this up, like people don't think that I'm capping. This is 100% true. It says at the end, real world example, Pipe Network built on Solana is trying to build decentralized video delivery systems, reducing reliance on AWS CloudFront and Akaima.
Wow.
Akamai? Yeah, I don't know.
Akamai. Yeah.
Akamai, yeah. How cool is that? GPT
That's
already.
amazing. I can't believe ChatGPT knows about us.
ChatGPT knows, and I'm like, this is freaky. Okay, so why Solana? Why did you choose Solana over all the other blockchains?
Yeah, so I've been like blockchain curious for many years. Like At Amazon, my fellow engineers were like, "Here's Ethereum, get in this ICO," and I'm like, "Why would I give my Bitcoin over for that?" And so, I've been
Good.
curious about it for years and tested a lot of them, and just randomly got connected with Anatoly, and just we were chatting like nerd, compression algorithms and
Middle
error
out.
correction and things, and I was like, okay, this guy is actually a real engineer,
Mm.
not a philosopher. A lot of chains seem to be, and
Ideology versus real world pragmatic stuff. Yeah, I get you. I feel you.
And then my team and I, we went and read all the source code for Solana, and
Mm.
that gave us a lot of comfort of how it was built. And we're very suspicious of blockchain just because it's a new industry, and um,
Mm.
we don't
As you
want
should be.
anything to affect our product just
Mm.
because it's like a dependency.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but in general, like Solana felt like it had like a very robust buildup, and again, it's like very nice high performance. So you can do payouts very quickly. It seems like the team has got a great roadmap in the past year since we've been building on it. Uh,
Mm.
Improvements of Solana have been phenomenal. Like
How long have you been building?
we've been building just about a year on
Okay,
this content delivery system.
that's not long. And my research shows 200,000 nodes and 250 terabytes of data that you onboarded, more or less.
Yeah, it's wild.
Jeez.
I'm super excited that so many people are interested in running the software. Um, I I feel really blessed, that
Yeah.
the protocol has so many nodes already, and we've done um, no marketing, just a lot of like nerd chat on Twitter, and
No, here you are talking to some average white guy with a podcast. Like, this is not billion-dollar marketing, folks. This is
yeah,
just real talk about something truly awesome and amazing. Okay, cool. Tell me about PiperQuest. What is PiperQuest?
yeah. So we've been running a DevNet, um, actually like a couple of versions as
Hmm.
typical for like 4 months now,
Okay,
and we're starting to get a lot of customer usage, people on the demand side wanting to use the
okay,
system. So kind of made sense from how blockchain works is to like switch over to a test net, um, start to build up like a leaderboard, those types of things of
okay.
rewards for high performing nodes. And
Yeah.
I think it's also a bit of us engineers trying to dip our toe into like Web3 marketing with like different ways to get like hype out there and let people know. Like, I talked to Token 2049 last week. I talked to some guys at Coinbase, and
Shout out,
um,
Gomez.
yeah, the great guys, but they actually never heard of our project. So we're like a bit of like a sleeper project. They said like we've got to get the word out more.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's why. Um, yeah, okay. No, you need to. But let's see this as a starting off point. Okay, so it's incentive marketing in the Web3 space. Got you. Um, what's the biggest shift been with building on scaling AWS, and now you're building basically with blockchain principles? What's that mind shift been?
I think it's not too much of a mind shift. So
Mm,
like at AWS, you would just plug into their billing pipeline. Um, it almost acted like a blockchain from my perspective, and then in the end, it just settled into an Oracle database. So
yeah,
uh, in a way, like we're just plugging into blockchain
I love it.
for payments and things like that. We will use it for some like really cool stuff. For example, um, in like a decentralized node manner, you got to be very careful that the nodes are actually serving up legitimate traffic, for
Yes.
example,
Yes.
and not just trying to gain the protocol and exploit more rewards. So um, we do a bit of uniqueness with like having the node post up a zero knowledge proof that
Mm-hmm.
they did supply the egress, and then we verify that before they could get a reward in the future. And essentially, we call that ZK TCP.
Okay. Okay, cool. So what do you see the biggest opportunity for CDNs? Where is it? Is it DeFi? Is it media? Is it gaming? What is the focus?
Yeah, this type of CDN is very unique. So we're taking latency, what today is like 50 to 80 milliseconds, and
Yeah.
the best CDNs, and we're pulling it down to 20, 10 milliseconds, sometimes five if the conditions are really nice.
If the
So it
wind
opens up
isn't
a
so
lot
nice.
of, yeah, it's total new like performance. So there's a lot of new applications that could be built on this that were previously like close to
Whoa.
impossible to build.
Whoa. Yeah, you just it's not about what is currently going to tap in. It's about what will tap in the future. What as an engineer, what gets you excited?
Yeah, so you coming from the industry, we
Uh,
we optimize the heck out of it for video streaming, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would say right now, half of the people testing and trying to use the system are actually serving up um, AI inference and
Mm,
AI chatbots. And the feedback so far is like, this is so much faster.
mm.
Like if you're chatting with a chatbot and the latency's too high, it's like, oh, I go make a cup of coffee and come back, and then I've got the results. And um, this gets it more feeling like real time, like you're chatting
Yeah.
with a friend.
Yeah, because it feels to me sometimes it's like the shift. Remember the dial-up modem? I'm giving away my age. I mean, people maybe have no idea. But when you dial out the 56K modem and direct, and then you had to wait a long ass time and then everything, it's like this is like the shift from that to fiber, I feel. It's like this here is a monumental shift coming or happening. So, what do you think the internet looks like 5 years from now if you guys pull this off in at scale?
It's fascinating. I think we'll have to watch the reaction of these traditional CDNs, but basically from like a mathematical standpoint, the performance would be 5 to 10 times better than traditional CDNs. So, um, in theory, just from a math perspective,
Yeah.
it would invalidate the entire existing CDN industry.
How much value are you talking? What's the current CDN in dollar terms value?
Just the CDN aspect alone,
Mm,
not like going down the pipe future roadmap. The global TAM for CDN is about 25 billion today,
jeez.
and
Okay,
I
so
think it grows very nicely every year because the internet just grows every year. So,
it's everything is up and to the right.
yeah.
So, what are you focusing on this year? Last question before I let you leave. What are you focusing on this year? What are some of the key milestones you want to get done and say, cool, we can tick off this year as a success?
I think, pulling off a couple of major streaming broadcasters as customers.
Who do you
Um,
want?
I definitely want to go back and get Amazon Video to use this, like, give me your worst performing cities, and we
Yeah.
can, incentivize nodes to run there. And basically, you can't compete against it.
Mm. What are the worst performing cities? Are you at liberty to say?
I don't want to
No,
say any,
okay.
but
We're not going to throw
but
anyone. We're not going to throw anyone in the bus, but we're looking to onboard a major player, and then we'll call 2025 a success.
you
And
can
we'll.
look in places like India, for example, that
Ooh.
has the most expensive bandwidth on Earth. And when we used to stream cricket,
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
we had to lower the quality of the video so much because um, the available bandwidth was so low there. So that market is very ripe for disruption in multiple angles.
Wow, that's insane. David, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm sure we'll have another catch up soon to just follow what you guys are doing. But if people want to go and connect with you and find out more about Pipe Network and how to get involved, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, they could go to the website pipe.network and look at the docs and run a node, or you can follow us on Twitter at Pipe Network as well.
Yeah, we'll put all the links in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me
Thanks for
today.
having me on.
And I'm looking forward to your Netflix series one day about the story that was it. And to our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity. And we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.
I could be the only one you hold at night. I could be your easy way, your white lie. I could tell you every little thing that's on my mind. You can get me high, I can get you right. Let me be a distribution. Oh la la la, I feel it, I feel it. This is our summer song. Oh la la la, I feel it, I feel it. Summer's coming. Oh la la la, I feel it, I feel it. This is our summer song. Oh la la la, I feel it, I feel it. Summer's coming. Oh la la la. Oh la la la. Oh la la la. Oh la la la. I could be the only one you hold at night. I could be your easy way, your white lie. I could tell you every little thing that's on my mind. You can get me high, I can get you right. Let me be your distribution. Oh la la la, I feel it, I feel it. This is our summer song. Oh la la la, I feel it, I feel it. Summer's coming. Oh la la la, I feel it, I feel it. Summer's coming.